Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone doing today? I should probably promote this. We'll check real quick. All right. Let's make sure everything is looking good. All right, tonight's topic. Are comic fans the real problem in Western comics? Now, I'm just going to let you guys know the answer is no. But I do have some discussion points on this. And yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But yeah, let's get this thing started real quick. Do-do-do. Ooh. Tyler. This is real Tyler, I promise. Alright. Sweet. Alright, let's get into this. How's everyone doing today? I'm here, guys. We're having a silly goose time. Let me show you guys this real quick. Just so you know, I need to have proof. Sometimes, you know, you need to have proof. You're like, don't worry, guys. I'm working. I'm trying to make things happen. I've been working on Bullet Assassin. I've got 8 more pages to do. That's like what I've been working on all my free time. Let's see, is this it? Nope. Clip Studio. There we go. All right, cut. There we go. Studio mode. Take that out. All right, so yeah, I've been working on Bullet Assassin, Living in a Fantasy World, number 2. Having a great time with this book, actually. So if you remember, at the end of the first one, we left off on the first one with basically Akari. She gets captured by the goblins. She's able to fight them off, and then she has this like desire to be like, all right, I'm gonna help these people, and I'm gonna kill all the goblins, essentially, because the goblins have enslaved every race in this world. But she's run out of bullets. She's run out of bullets in her gun, and so her goal is, you know, for the story is, okay, like I've gotta get bullets, and so we learn right here in this little page, because, you know, it's 5 chapters, so we've got to be quick on things. We learn that, you know, she talks to this blacksmith. He says that you need this specific type of material in order to make bullets in this world, and then like he's just guessing based off of like what he's seen with like her shell casings, and so it opens up with them seeing like this goblin encampment. Akari does her thing, kills a bunch of goblins. She's got to use a sword. She's with Layla, who's like an excellent warrior. Like a goblin's about to escape. Henry, whose parents were killed in the first issue, is able to shoot down that goblin. And then they see like this encampment of basically enslaved humans who are mining for this particular material, and we get some like backstory on the material. And then they're like, oh, like we've got to find this monster. And if you remember, this is the monster from the first one. And so, yeah, that's all I'm going to be showcasing. I just showcased you all of it just now. But yeah, super excited to like get this book out, to get it going. Working hard on it. If you're in the chat, by the way, come and say hi. I need to, I need to really start like working on the marketing. I've dropped off. We used to be able to pull in lots and lots of viewers, and we're going down, and it's because it's a lack of marketing on my part. But no, I'm not here to be a YouTuber, guys. I'm here to make comics, have a silly goose time. I was talking to someone today saying, like, you know, if I ran out of money to make comics, to like hire artists to work on comics, I'd still draw them myself, and just make them. I just probably put them out for free. Like this is my hobby. This is my hobby. This is what I get to do for funsies. The two hobbies that I have currently right now are making comics, and I'm currently trying to take my team, the Blue Rockets, to the championship in backyard baseball. Right now the Wombats are 5-0. I'm 4-1. So I play them in 3 more games. So I've got to kick the Wombats' ass. That's the goal. What are you guys reading, by the way? What's everyone up to these days? Let me know. Tonight's show is going to be interesting. I don't want to piss off anyone. I don't want people to get mad. But something that's been on my mind recently is the fact that, like, comic book fans are awesome. They're very passionate about the source material. They're very passionate about the characters. They're very passionate about these worlds that have been created over the last, hundreds of years. The problem though for me is that the problem that I'm seeing right now though is that I'm seeing a lot of, and I hate the word toxic fandom because I don't think fandom can be toxic. I like that Henry Cavill quote where he's like, fans aren't toxic, they're passionate. I like that. But I do think sometimes that passion can be a hindrance to the growth of the industry and the growth and the progress of these stories. For example, a character that I love so much is Batman. And I'm a huge Batman fan. The majority of my comics on that shelf are Batman. And I stopped reading Batman because I just felt like there was no growth for the character. There was nothing going on. I loved when Batman died. When Bruce Wayne Batman died, when he sacrificed himself to kill Darkseid, I thought that was fantastic. And I loved that Dick Grayson took the role of Batman in that he was able to like bring out a new type of Batman where he still respected the role, he still was fighting crime, but he had some jokes about him, he had some wit to him, and it was fun. There's a scene in Batman, oh my gosh, the Black Mirror, and Jim Gordon is talking with Dick Grayson Batman, and he turns the bat signal off, and Jim Gordon turns around and Dick's still there, and he looks shocked, and he's like, and Dick's like, why you look shocked? And he goes, oh, normally I'm not used to you sticking around for the end of these conversations. And so I liked that. I really, really liked that aspect of Dick Grayson's Batman. Because it was an evolution. And I'm sure, like, if Dick Grayson were to die, then Tim Drake would take on the mantle, and he would be more scientific and analytical Batman. And then when he dies, or moves on, Damian would take on the mantle of Batman. Maybe he's a lot more aggressive. He's more rough. He's more violent. And then it just gives you room for stories. And I feel like because the Western fans, let's be real, they don't like progress. Like, we should be able to I'm just going to flat out say, comic book fans do not like progress of their characters. They like Steve Rogers as Captain America, and that's the only person who can be Captain America. Falcon can't be Captain America. I'm surprised that we're able to get as many Robins without people freaking out, or maybe they're freaking out and I don't notice. We can only have like one Superman. We can only have one type of Spider-Man. Like, only Peter Parker is Spider-Man, not Miles Morales. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I just think people are getting so upset. Like, guys, my child who is 5 years old, to him, his Spider-Man is Miles Morales. Because he watches Into the Spider-Verse. He watches Spidey and Friends. His favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales. So to him, Spider-Man is Miles Morales, whereas to me, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. But let's say if Peter Parker were to freaking die or something, and Miles Morales took on the mantle, like, yeah, he's freaking Spider-Man. I don't know. Let's see. We got Eloise in the house. We got Caffeinated Wolf. The Chuck Jose channel. Answer: no, they aren't. It's the writers. Yes and no. I think it's 70-30. Actually, I think 70% of the problem with the Western comics is the creators. They're with bad writing, bad creations, bad storytelling, bad like mandates on what they're trying to do with these characters. But then like you do get some writers though who do try to push the status quo, and they are doing good stuff, but then they experience backlash from the creator, from the fans, and then because of that pushback, the publishers naturally go, all right, like let's let this, like, sales are going down because they want Bruce Wayne back, so bring him back. And and so you lose out on good storytelling. Like I remember Scott Snyder, hold on real quick. For example, you have Scott Snyder when he was doing his New 52 run, he killed off Bruce Wayne at one point. He killed off Bruce Wayne Batman. And he gave the mantle of Batman to Jim Gordon. And I thought that was super interesting because he was like, Jim Gordon was trying to be a police officer type Batman. He also had like, sorry guys, work. He had like a government entity who was trying to be like, this is what Batman's gonna be, and these are the rules of being Batman, and it was super interesting. And then Bruce Wayne was mixed in and then Bruce Wayne eventually became Batman again, but like for a full year, my gosh, come on. Yo, how are we doing tonight? We're doing good, except work. Like they're like, hey, I think we got robbed by like $12,000. I'm like, great. Just a fraudulent person. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Aljamil, I read through manga versions of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and Anne of Green Gables. They were so accurate and amazing. By the way, those are my two favorite books. So like, but fans are always gonna be like, I want Bruce Wayne Batman. I always want him to fight the Joker, and I always want him to fight Two-Face and blah blah, and like, bro, like, give me something new. That's my opinion. Give me something new and fresh. I would love, like, I think I've said this a bunch. If I was able to restart the DC universe from zero, as of right now, I would start everything at day one. Bruce Wayne becomes Batman and starts his thing. And then, I do actually. Let me find this guy. Hold on. I have this guy's trying to rob me. I have his fucking number so I can dispute this with his bank. This is all I have. This is a shit show of a show, guys. I'm so sorry. I would start everyone at day one, and I would have Bruce Wayne do like maybe 10 to 20 years worth of like stories, and then I would kill him off. I would have him die, or he gets old and dies or something. And then eventually you have volumes 1 through 20 of Batman, the Bruce Wayne era. And then we can change it to then the Dick Grayson era, and we either go volume 21 or we can restart at volume 1 and it's just like Batman, the Dick Grayson era. And then we would do the same thing with Dick Grayson and then Tim Drake and then Damian or something. Like it just gives you room to do new stuff. Al Jamil says it right there. I'm for the new stuff if people want the old characters and stories, then go back to the past comics. Like agreed. And so like let me pull up my Twitter. Let's pull up my Twitter because a lot of these things I'm talking about came up today because I was shocked. You know, I'm shocked at, I don't know, how angry people get at things. So you stop making your fan bat comic. I did. I realized I'm just not good at drawing Batman. Like I'm really bad at drawing Batman, and it was just not looking the way I wanted it. It's hard to draw Batman. And then I just didn't have the time to keep it up. All right. So I saw a lot of people pissed off today about this, about the Captain America poster. And a lot, people were mad because of it was like, oh, Sam's human and he can't take on a Red Hulk or something. And like to me, like this is it's a movie poster. It's not even in the trailer. It's not even the movie. This is just a movie poster. And let's be real. There was probably a graphic designer company who was hired and they're like, hey, here's all these pictures of Falcon. Here's all these pictures of Hulk. You need to like make a movie poster, and they grabbed like 2 assets and they had to like put everything together and whatnot. Cause like I don't even know where Sam's other arm is. It's just a shield. So anyways, yeah, it's just a poorly designed movie poster, but everyone's like, oh, Sam couldn't take this hit. Like guys, what if like at this moment is just the impact and then a second later Sam just gets smacked? What if that's the case? Anyways, so I put out like, hey, what if I told you that this was just a movie poster? The amount of people mad about this poster and everything is why, in my opinion, Western comics are struggling. The fandom can't allow anything but the status quo to happen. Therefore, forward change is impossible. I didn't even see these freaking comics. We've complained that comics are stagnant while also hyping up what manga is able to do with linear storytelling, and yet we don't allow that to happen in Western comics. Steve Rogers in the MCU is not Captain America anymore. Captain America is now a legacy hero, and that mantle can be passed down to other people. It's currently given to Falcon. Now we get different perspectives on how people would handle this role and responsibility, and I talk about like the Batman stuff. Let's allow these stories to move on from the status quo. This didn't go well with some people, but this one was interesting. Let's see. It was this one. This brings about it. This is great. This is from Timmers, and we like Timmers. Because there isn't growth in Western comics, we get Elseworlds or someone takes over the mantle before it goes back. So, like, to me, like, I agree. Like, this is a huge problem in Western comics. Like, the only time we get something new that's pushing the limits, it's either in an Elseworlds, or we get it for a time and then that mantle's taken back. Like, right now, the reason why the absolute DC universe is being talked about a bunch is because this is new. It's a new world. Everything is new. It's a new type of Batman. It's a little rougher. It's a rougher, more street level Batman. They could have easily done this in canon. Bruce Wayne dies. No one's there to take up the mantle. But there's this middle class guy, John, and he's like, he realizes there's no Batman. So he's going to take up the mantle of Batman. And maybe he's able to get assistance from Nightwing and Damian and Tim Drake. They go, dude, if you're going to be Batman, this is what it's all about. Let me help you. And maybe he's like, I don't want to do that. And maybe Nightwing's like, you're ruining the legacy of Batman. And he's able to challenge, you know, and then John, middle class Batman, is able to be like, no, like Bruce Wayne was a billionaire. This is the reason why he wasn't able to do stuff. But I'm gonna do it this way because I'm middle class and I see the problems that are on the street level. Like that's how you do. That's how you can evolve these characters and truly get these meanings. You know, you have Scott Snyder who's like, oh, I want, like, if Bruce is a billionaire, I want to contrast that with a middle class Batman. It's like, dude, put them in the same world then. You can do that and put them in the same world, but fans don't like that. Fans are like, that's not my... Even in Absolute Batman, which is not a canon Batman, people are still mad that like, oh, Batman doesn't do that. You're right. It's not a main canon Batman. It's a different universe. Oh, Batman doesn't chop people's hands off. This one does. It's not canon. Oh, Batman didn't go to high school with like Nigma and Oswald. It's like, you're right. It's an Elseworld story. And so like, this is why I think that a lot of the problems, like, that's why I say I think it's a 70-30. I think 70% of the problems in comics is you have these companies with bad marketing, bad business, and then you have like bad writers putting out bad stories. But then I also believe that there is a problem with the fans, and that the fans will not allow these characters to grow and stagnate. And then they stagnate because look, we get Elseworlds or someone takes over the mantle before it goes back. Also, people want Steve Rogers. They do not want a Captain America that isn't Steve Rogers. So Steve Rogers has to be Captain America forever. And by the way, this is an older Western comics fan, because like I said, like my kid's favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales. If Miles Morales was the Spider-Man forever, he wouldn't care. He'd be like, this is great. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's great. As well, you know, a lot of people are getting, you know, and one thing, this is just enraged fans. I don't get, guys, why are we so enraged? This is comic books. Let's have fun. Sam is human and can't beat the Hulk. You know what's fun about comics? Exploring the limits these characters have and seeing them overcome them. Superman uses his strength to beat Darkseid while Batman is forced to outsmart him. So let's see the story first and then complain. I mean, the amount of people that I saw today. What's up, Massive Panda? How you doing? I scheduled this stream at the wrong time. That's why, by the way. The amount of people who are like, oh, and like, there's no way that Sam could withhold a punch from Red Hulk. I mean, hold on. I had a lot of these. Like this person, he realized what he saw was AI. Like, how did Sam not splatter on the concrete when he nosedived at the ground? He isn't War Machine. How is it that Sam at least not thrown back from Red Hulk's punch? I said, when did you see Sam fully get punched in this movie? He says, I'm talking about the trailer. But that didn't happen in the trailer. There is no scene of them fighting in the trailer. There's another thing. Another thing. Oh, yes. Because I talk about how like Batman was able to outsmart Darkseid, and that's how he beat him. Oh, yes. The iconic comic book where Batman says gotcha to Darkseid. I believe it sells for thousands. What an iconic moment in comics. And this is another problem. Like, apparently, apparently a comic's worth is only based on what it is on the collector's market, not the story. It's worth less than cover price. It's not iconic. It's cringe, to be honest. And it's like this is like, there are such bad mentalities in the comic book sphere that I think that is what like stagnates the industry. Is we have all of these arbitrary rules that like stop us from having fun. I don't know. I've got 19 people watching this. Like, in the comments, tell me, am I off basis? Am I completely wrong? Because if I am wrong, let me know. Like I said, I'm not saying the fans are 100% the problem and that they're not allowed to have these opinions. But what I'm saying is that like some of these opinions and these like quote unquote rules that we have as fans, I think are holding back comic book storytelling initiatives and just progression in a whole. This is from Aaron Wolfsbane. The shield is made up of vibranium, so I can see it protecting him against Red Hulk, who's known to be weaker than Green, plus MCU is nerfed. There you go. Yeah, the MCU is nerfed. Stormcore, we got anime in here. I've never been so bored when talking to other nerds in my life. These guys take the fun out of everything, even though their logic isn't even consistent. I mean, that's the hard part about comic books, is you can always find a comic that can contradict another comic. And so like we have these endless loops, storytelling like loops. Cause like I could have easily found a comic When I say Superman uses his strength to beat Darkseid, but Batman has to use his wit. But I can find comics where Batman has like in the Batman and Robin New 52 series, Batman has like a Darkseid battle suit that he goes in to fight Darkseid so that he's able to like be one-on-one with him. Massive Panda. Fun, bro. Comics are not for fun. You need to get those variant covers, and don't you dare get a fingerprint on them. Get them graded, slabbed, and on a display shelf immediately. Fun. That's fair. Got a crooked painter in the house. Hey, you showed up. Hey, what's up, man? Like, I don't know. Am I, like... I just feel like we're losing out on it. Like, and maybe it's because I'm a fresh reader. Like, I've only been reading comics for like a little over like 10 years now. So when I got into comics, I got into comics during the New 52. And so like everything was new to me. So I read The Court of Owls and I'm like, holy crap, what is this? This is sick. And then I read the death of a family, which is like when Joker kidnaps and tries to kill all of Batman's family. I'm like, holy crap, this is intense. And then I had to work my way backwards. So I started reading like Batman Black Mirror, and this is before like the universe changed. So like I'm like, okay, like everything's different in canon. So like Barbara is still in a wheelchair. She's Oracle. Okay. We're reading Black Mirror. That's sick. Go back even more. I'm reading Grant Morrison, and this is what Batman's like. I read Final Crisis. I'm like, that makes no sense, but this is really fun. I get to read like all of these stories, and I'm just having a blast because it's all new, it's all fresh. And then, now I get to read how Batman is able to come back to life, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But like, I kind of liked it when Dick Grayson was Batman. And then Scott Snyder kills Batman. I'm like, holy crap! Like as a fan, I was like, holy crap! Like this is huge. Jim Gordon is Batman. Like I didn't have any sense of like anger. Like I wanted just more of the story because I was like, this is so cool. I could have done like 5 or 10 more years worth of Jim Gordon being Batman. I thought it was a very interesting take. It would have been cool to see like Jim Gordon and Batgirl team up. That would have been so cool. This father and daughter relationship. And maybe he gets to see like, oh, this is what she's been dealing with her whole life. This like, there's this side of like Gotham that she's been experiencing that I didn't know about. And I don't know. I feel like there's just so many stories that we're not getting because comic book fans are constantly asking, not even asking, pressuring comic book companies and writers and creatives to stay in the lane, to stay in the lane. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, here we got this one. I mean, talk about a super fun comic book like fan. I don't need to read the story to know that a normal human, regardless of a vibration shield or not, can never take a punch from a Hulk. I don't need to know the story to know that the image that caused the controversy is a complete and utter disregard of the character's limit. By the way, guys, it's a movie poster. It's a movie poster. Like, watch them. Anyways, utter disregard of the limits you speak of is proof that the original material is being handled in the most disrespectful way possible, and frankly makes it to where I don't want to read the goddamn story I saw that image in. It was enough to make me say nope, nothing to do with it. Another fun fan. Nope, Batman shot him with a gun. It's like, okay, but like that was fun. Because this was like the end of the world. In order for Batman to win, he had to break his rule. And like he like made fun of it. Another fun person. It's not fun going to a Marvel movie that's trash. There's no Captain America in this movie. It's the Falcon, and a punch from the green, red, Skittles colored Hulk will kill him. That's called canon based on power levels as listed in the comic books. Nerd knowledge. It's like, okay, well, this is a Captain America movie because Steve Rogers is Captain America. Um, but it's, I get it. I get it. Fans are mad. I get it. Fans are mad. You know, it's so hard. You have these fans who have been fans for 50 years and they have their favorite stories that are in the past. Like they want to see their 50 years worth of storytelling happen um on the big screen. They want to see that. They're like I want to see the Chris Claremont era of X-Men on the big screen. But we're so far past that now that like we have to do what's happening in modern day comics. Granted, they're not really doing that either. They're doing a shit show of that. And so yeah, I can see why. I mean, I can see why like fans would be like, oh, these aren't like the stories I grew up with because they're not, and like you just weren't. They didn't. These stories that you love weren't created in a time of like Hollywood and the MCU, and they're not. These stories aren't going to be the ones that maybe they pick or they bring onto the big screen. I don't know. I don't know, bro. It's weird seeing you with drywall behind you. Oh boy, is going big time. I know, guys. I mean, I've been in a basement garage for so many years. It is it's weird. It's weird that I can be in this, and I will say, like, there are some times where I miss that like open feel of the basement because like there was no walls, so like I had access to like this whole place. It was mine. Dakari. Honestly, the big two have more or less destroyed the lane more times than care to like. Also, Marvel didn't do any real legwork to get people to think of Sam as Captain America. He's always a sidekick. I mean, I agree. I mean, that's another thing is like you probably have to watch the Winter Soldier Falcon show in order to like get sped up on the fact that he's Captain America. And that, like, unless they're able to do like a really quick recap, that I do see that as a problem. When I went to go see Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, I like when Wanda is like, "I'm the bad person." I was like, "Oh shit, what happened?" Like, she's bad, and Doctor Strange is like, "I know what you did about this, and I was like, "Holy shit, did I miss something? Did I miss something?" And my brother's like, "You didn't watch Vision?" And I went, "No, I didn't watch Vision." He goes, "Oh, this was all in Vision." And I'm like, okay, that sucks that I missed all this backstory. And so I do agree, like that is a problem. That is a problem that does happen in the MCU where it used to be easy to get like the lore and stuff because all you had to do was like watch the previous movie. But now I have to watch all these TV shows to get everything. Like when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, I was like, what is this like secret organization time thing? And my brother's like, "You didn't watch Loki?" I'm like, "No, I don't have time to watch all these shows." And he's like, "Oh, like that's where you get all of this." And I'm like, "Fuck, like okay, like I guess like that's what I'm gonna struggle with is do I know everything? Am I gonna be able to know what everything's happening and whatnot?" It's just you just can't. Plus, even in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, John Walker was way better Captain America than Sam. They permanent hurt my enjoyment of Sam thanks to that show. Oh, see, that's not good. The scenes that I have seen of that show, it didn't look like something I wanted to. It looked very like race enraging, like they wanted to like make you mad about like race issues, and I'm just not about that. I will say the Thunderbolts trailer looked fun. I'm a huge Yelena fan. Like I love Yelena. I think she's a fantastic character. I loved her in. I'm probably one of the few people that like thought the Black Widow movie was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Could have been better, absolutely, but I think it was a solid 7 out of 10. Maybe 6 out of 10. I don't know. I really liked the character of Yelena. I loved the Hawkeye TV show with Kate Bishop and Yelena. I loved that dynamic between the two. Like, give me a movie or even a series with just those two characters with each other. I'm all for it. So yeah, I think I'm excited for the Thunderbolts, mostly for Yelena. I think she's a fantastic character, and I also like the Winter Soldier a lot. Let's see. Yeah. those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. That's my 34-minute rant on fans in the comic book scene. Like it's hard. It's sometimes it's hard being a fan in the scene because everyone gets so passionate. They like, I get it. We love these things so much, but at some point we have to be okay with like letting things go and like letting our kids experience stuff. Like I had someone, who was it? I had a friend and he was saying like he hates Into the Spider-Verse because he felt like they did Peter Parker dirty in there. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I thought they did him great, but they didn't like how he was like this deadbeat superhero or what. I don't know. I was like, guys, dude, let these characters like tell different stories if we want them to keep moving on. I don't know. Y'all guys see the new Mission Impossible trailer though? Dude, I was on a plane a couple days ago. And I watched I watched again Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I love that movie. That movie's so good. I enjoy it so much. So I can't wait for the new Mission Impossible. Massive Panda, they should be happy anybody at all is still in the enraged stage instead of the apathetic stage. I checked out on this stuff a long time ago. I don't complain because I don't partake anymore. That is an interesting take. By the way, guys, I'm now like in the part of the stream where like I talk so much and like so fast that, and so like so passionately that like now my nose is itching. Thunderbolts can be fun if they let the characters have fun with each other and work well as a team. I agree. But Massive, that's a Massive Panda. That is an interesting. You're right. Would you rather have people enraged or apathetic? Yeah, because I guess if they're enraged, they're still talking about it. They're still promoting it. They still might even come and pay money to hate watch it. Whereas if they're apathetic about it, then they don't give a rat's ass anymore. And they don't care. Cause I'm with you, Massive. Like I'm kind of at the apathetic stage. Like I only saw Deadpool and Wolverine because I saw like a cameo and I was like, ooh, I want to go see how that thing comes together. But like even then I came out of the movie like that was fun. I honestly didn't think Deadpool and Wolverine was actually a good movie. I thought it was fun, but not a good movie. But yeah, like I don't follow anything with the MCU anymore. I'm trying to think of like besides the Deadpool one, was there anything else I've watched recently that I've wanted to with that? Like nothing. I don't even know if I'll go see the Thunderbolts in theaters. Yeah. Let's see, what else are we doing? The election happened. I was in Florida when that happened. I'd wake up in the middle of the night. I'd be like, he's winning. And then I go back to sleep. And then I'd wake up again in the middle of the night and be like, he's still winning. And like go to bed. And I woke up one more time. I was like, he won. Nice. All right. Go back to sleep. Deep sleep. It's just Trump's America. This will be an interesting 4 years, guys. Dakari, Elena is actually a perfect new character that can definitely stand alone. She's different from the comics, but a good different, unlike Taskmaster. Yeah, Taskmaster got, I don't even want to say nerfed. It just got boring. So that's unfortunate. Massive Panda, I would much rather read any of your comics, Tyler, than to read or watch any comic books or comic book movies. That stuff has fallen off so badly. That's just my opinion. Oh, I appreciate that. I agree, though. Like, I would rather read other indie creators' books. By the way, Massive, you see that your book is right there? It's this one. Master of the Edge right there. Finger in it. But yeah, that was crazy, dude. I lost so many Facebook friends. I posted something on Facebook. I lost so many Facebook friends with my election post. I was like, what? Come on, like don't do this, like really? And yeah, I lost so many. It was nuts. So let's see. Here's some things that we're that I'm working on. So after a lot of people have reached out to me about marketing and stuff, I've just been the bullet, and I'm gonna make this. It's just gonna be like a simple marketing course. It's a level 0. It's actually a 6-part video. It's just 4 lessons, an intro and an outro, so 6 videos in total. And essentially, what this course will be, and it will be like maybe $20, who knows, is the first video is like an introduction to what we're gonna go over. Number 2 is it's gonna be stuff that I've talked about a bunch, but go more in depth, like the 5 different ways to market and sell a product, the difference between like a product led and founder led and brand led, and like which one, and like what strategies to use. Lesson 2 is utilizing organic platforms and creating content. Lesson 4 is understanding is why you need to build a customer database, creating a newsletter, platforms to use, tips and tricks how to do that. And then lesson 4 in that is the final lesson, and it's basically like how you implement all the lessons together, and we create together in this. If you're a creator, we create basically a whole marketing plan that you can implement from everything that we learned in it, and how you can start growing an audience. And so it's gonna be very simple course. I'm literally just gonna be like have my whiteboard on my drawing tablet, pull up a camera, we'll just talk, and it'll be a very simple course. But I hope it helps. I hope it helps. I get these questions a lot, so it's like, what, let me just, and I do these kind of things with creators a lot, so I'm like, let me just do this in one simple course, and if you want it, you can get it, and if you don't want it, you don't have to get it, but very basic stuff to point you in the right direction. You gotta drop that funnel, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I know, friends, right? Like, you're right. It was like they weren't even like, a lot of them weren't even like friends per se, but like still, it's like, come on, goddamn. Aljamo, do you think more indie campaigns will get more next year under the new president? I'm not so sure if that is the slam dunk a lot of people think it is. I honestly don't know. I think we're gonna have to see how the economy's going. I think right now, I think it just depends. I mean, for me, I'm very curious on what it's gonna look like in terms of the indie scene, because the indie scene is so, at least there's multiple indie scenes, by the way. Multiple indie scenes. You have like a webtoon indie scene, a tapastic web, like you have like a digital indie scene, you have a crowdfunding indie scene. Like I would say we are in an indie crowdfunding scene where a lot of our ecosystem is based on the crowdfunding books that we put out, whether it's like Indiegogos, Kickstarters, Fund My Comic. Like that's what we talk about. Like that's where people in our spheres buy their comics. Whereas like if you talk to if you're in like other indie comic spheres, they're talking like they're promoting their webtoons, their tapastics, their online stores. It's very different. Yes, it was a Kung Fu Panda reference, and I appreciate someone getting that. So I think it'll be interesting. Like right now for me, I'm interested in, like, last year I launched a lot of number ones, and it was interesting to see like which ones got pushed and which ones did well and which ones were like, I don't know, maybe didn't do as well as I thought. So like here, I'll show you. I'll bring you into so for example, let's see, where's the ones? Okay, so these are the ones I launched last year. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 that I launched last year. I think Girl with the Mega Fist has a pretty good like fan base of like 300 to 400 backers. So, and because they're thicker books, like I'm able to charge 15 to 20 bucks on them. So, like the price point is always going to bring them up. Like it'll be interesting because with volume 5 the price is going to go up to 20 bucks instead of 15 bucks. And so I'm curious to see like how many people stay, and if like does that raise the amount pledged, or do they then just go over to the digital side? It'll be very interesting. But I just have to raise the price this year. You know, the volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 will still stay 15, but everything else going forward is going to be 20. I mean, I still think that's a extremely competitive price, seeing how each of these volumes is 200 pages, and so I feel like 20 bucks is still like extremely competitive in the indie scene. But so like these are all number ones. So this is number 1. It's 15,000. Number 1, 20,000. This is a number 1. I thought, guys, can I just be honest? I thought Cthulhu Murders would do at least 10,000. I was so sure of this. It did not. Like I was like, oh, indie comic people, they love Cthulhu and they love Cthulhu comics, and I just did, I don't know, I totally missed the mark. I think I tried to do what's his name, Travis Gibb was like, he tried to do something a little too creative. I think he missed the mark. I think I did, honestly. I mean, it truly is like a murder mystery book where like you have to solve crimes, and like in between like parts of the story, like so like it's like at the, it says like like investigation checkpoint number 1. It's like number 1, who is on the top of the suspect list according to the evidence so far, and number 2, what evidence makes blank the top suspect currently. And then like those are like, you can ask yourself that question and then want to check your answers before continuing the story. And I think I spelled continuing wrong, which sucks. But then I had like a QR code, and that would then take you to my website, and it would like break down the story and be like, yeah, you're right. This is currently the suspect who's like the worst. And then we have it like another checkpoint. And then, we had a third checkpoint, and it would finally like, and then when you're done with the checkpoint, you're then given like, you're right, this is who it was, and this is all the reasons, and this is all the evidence that we've seen, and you're able to go back through the book and be like, oh, like I saw that. I don't know, I tried being creative. It didn't it didn't work. Also, I didn't realize how hard, like, the Cthulhu fan base is hardcore. A lot of them didn't like the fact that I like made him, because I had him like married in the book, and like they're like, he's not married, marriage isn't part of their universe. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he is married in the Cosmos universe. He goes, yeah, but like it's not like a marriage, it's something like this, like the Dark God would never do something like that. I'm like, all right, like chill. Dakari, how dare you? $5 more for 200 pages is ridiculous. Just kidding. It's fine by me since I'm a physical and digital collector. I appreciate that. But yeah, I really thought this was going to be a 10K campaign. I was like, oh, damn it. It's not. So then came out with Bold Assassin, and this one did 12K. Now, what was interesting is like we funded this in April. Started this in April, started this one in July, and this one in September, and this one in August. So these are like the middle of the year campaigns. And then as it got to like closer to Christmas, the numbers went down. But then if we go over here, beginning of the year, what's crazy is like there's so many, like what's crazy is like, look, we made more money on number 3, but we had less backers by like 70 on number 2. Very interesting. and then with Sexy Witch 2. So like I'm just what I guess my point is like I'm curious what the landscape is going to be for like projects. Like I've always said that like the trajectory of like a series is always going to go down. Like people are going to come in for number 1, and then if they weren't bought in for number 1, it's probably going to go down. I've always expected that. So when people are like, "Oh, are you mad that like if Bull Assassin 2 hitting 10K, I was shocked. So like if Bold Assassin 3 hits 10K, I will absolutely be shocked. Because to me, like the readership should be going down as the series progresses. I mean, that's just, I worked in book publishing. That's what we saw. Is the first book does big numbers and it just goes down from there. But if you market it a certain way, like things could happen. Like, so for example, like My Sexy Witch Academia 1 did solid, and I was lucky enough to work to do a Kickstarter update swap with Kat, and she was doing a witch book at the time as well, and she does like $60,000 to $80,000 campaigns. Some of them do hundreds of thousands. And so she put my book, so we were able to get a huge bump. I think I got like 100 backers from her update. And so that was, and because they were new backers, they bought a ton of like add-ons. So that's what was able to fund this book. Otherwise, I think I was going to be looking at like 10 to 15K on this campaign. But then you have, I don't know, like you have people like Caden Sketch, who just put out Lugie's very first campaign. It does like $3,000. Fantastic campaign. No NSFW, by the way, which I think is fantastic. That, you know, which is fantastic. I don't do NSFW in the interiors of any of these comics except My Sexy Witch Academia, and even then I always forget to do them. Like literally, Tommy has to go, "Yo, you didn't have any nudity in this book." I went, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like he goes, "Tyler, the book's called My Sexy Witch Academia. You got to have some nudity in the book." I'm like, "You're right," and I was like, "Find some spots to do it." Because it's like never like I do that mostly for the Kickstarter algorithm for the cover game. But I think it's cool that a new creator like Hayden can put out his first book and it is like $23,000. Maybe it might be even more. I don't remember. So my point is, it's like, I'm very curious what the landscape will be next year. Do we see a huge bump or do we just see things leveling out? Like, I'm curious, like once these finish off, I'm like, okay, am I going to put out a new series? What's that number 1 going to look like? It's good. Like, is it going to be hot stuff? I don't know. J-Ro, U.S. comics are the same. First issues do big numbers and it tapers off after that. Exactly. I mean, that's just the way it goes. More people, like, yes, Harry Potter is huge. More people have read The Sorcerer's Stone than any of the other books. More people have read The Fellowship of the Ring than any of the other books. Like, it's not like an equilateral thing. It's always going down. Vegs, Cthulhu should not be married. Those guys are maidenless. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. By the way, guys, is your Twitter just filled with porn? I am shocked the amount of porn that is on my Twitter. I just open it up. It's just straight porn all day. I'm like, bro, what's happening? What are we doing? By the way, everyone, I want to thank this backer, by the way. I think they basically bought everything. Everything, boom, boom. Yeah, they bought every book that I've basically put out in the public. That's of mine. I appreciate that a lot. It'd be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Like this. Soon it'll be like just trade. Oh yeah. Can I ask you guys something? I've got 22 people here. Like, can I ask you guys something? And I'm like, be 100% honest with me. So I'm thinking this. I've brought this up, but I want and please, if you're here, and you're like an active backer of mine, like I really want this feedback. So, My Sexy Witch Academia is the only other quote unquote ongoing series that I have. Besides The Girl with the Mega Fist. Before I even give this idea, let me just do the math on it. Okay. So, so the question is this. Right now with the My Sexy Witch Academia, it's coming out in chapters. In chapters, 40-page floppies. And once we get to either chapter 3 or 4, I'm considering it putting it into a volume. But then I'm thinking, do I keep it at volume 1, but then do I keep releasing 5, 6, 7, 8 in chapters, and that's going to take, a year and a half to get to, or because of just like whenever you do a Kickstarter, you've got to do like, the pre-launch, the 30 days making the book, printing it, the fulfillment. It's like a 4 or 5 month cycle. And so I'm wondering, like, I could beat this cycle if I just put them out as volumes. So basically I invest X amount of money to make the volume. And so, like, I don't know, like, I guess what I'm saying is, would it be bad that I've done 3 chapters in floppies, 4 chapters in floppies of My Sexy Witch Academia, and then I do a volume 1 Kickstarter, but then I don't do a chapter 5, 6, 7, 8. I just do a volume 2. And then I do a volume 3. So I just move it. I skip the chapters and I only go into volumes. Is that a bad idea? Like, I stop doing the chapters and I go to volumes. Or my other thing is, do I just never do volumes until the whole series is done? So I only do 12. I get to the 12 chapters, floppy issues, and then I go, all right, now I'll do the volumes. What are you guys' thoughts? Cause like at that point, because my thinking is that I have all this inventory now. So essentially I'll have 12 long boxes of inventory for My Sexy Witch Academia when it's like, or I could just have it in 3 books, 3 volumes. And I just have to worry about those 3 volumes instead of having to reprint 12 issues every single time I do a Kickstarter. I just have the 3 volumes. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I don't have to worry about this with Super Plumber Sisters because that series is ending. I don't have to worry about that with Bullet Assassin because that series is ending. But I'm thinking of just like, I don't know, it's just so much easier to ship out a trade. That's why I love The Girl with the Mega Fist. It's like, these are all in trades. Like, can you imagine if we had done floppies of this? Like, we're on volume 4 ends on chapter 50. There's no way we could have done as many floppies with, like, I would still be doing floppies on volume 1 of The Girl with the Mega Fist at this point. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I've had a lot of people say, "Yo, we can do Peppermint Reload." And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, like, do I do this in floppies, or should I just put these out as, graphic novels? Massive Panda. To be honest, Tyler, I was thinking about doing the same thing with my stuff. I want to put issues 1 and 10 in a trade and then just keep doing volumes from there. I'm not sure yet. You know what you could do, Massive, is put issues 1 to 5 in a trade, because that's 100 pages. And then then you have 2 volumes. Now you have 2 volumes. Like, that looks good. Because then, Massive, because you have a great story and you have a great comic. Like, by doing volume 1 and then volume 2, like, that already sounds beefy. And then you could charge $25 per volume. I think that's what I would do. Caden Sketch, I think Kickstarter is trending toward volumes and big splashy premium books. Okay, volumes so much easier in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The only fear that I have is, like, it's just like, the cons. The cons are the upfront cost, because I've got to pay the artist upfront cost. And then the second, and Crooked Painter put it up right there. The second is, will you get more sales in floppies or a trade? And the thing is, like, four floppies, let's say each of them are doing 10K plus. If I do 4 floppies, I get 4 chances to sell the same book. Whereas if I do the graphic novel, I'm only getting 1 chance to sell the book. Do you see what I'm saying? So essentially, like, I put out the volume and I only make 10K from that volume. Whereas if I had done it chapters 5, 6, 7, 8, I could have made 10K on each of those. I could have had 40K. So that is definitely the question. That is definitely something that I've been thinking about 100%. At the same time, though, if you're only doing volumes, you would raise the price. So the flop is you could also raise the price but consolidate it. So instead of it being $10 for a floppy, because that's what you have to do economically, I could do 20 to 25 for the volume. So like maybe it's less backers, but everyone's average order has to go up because of just the cost of it. And so, yeah, I don't know. You make more money on floppies, but how much do you value your time? And that's another thing, Caden, is I can either do 3 My Sexy Witch Academia campaigns in a year, or I could do 1. And that's another thing, is like, because one of these campaigns it takes a long time. You have the prep work, the 30 days of the campaigning, and then you have to do the printing and shipping, and then you have to do the fulfilling. So like that's another thing, is it's the time as well. The Crooked Painter floppies are Kickstarter and trades are for Amazon. Ugh. I hate Crooked Painter because he right now is playing to every thought that I've had. He's playing to every thought that I've had. Because that's what I've been feeling, honestly, is Kickstarters for the floppies, Amazon's for the trades. That's what I've been thinking. Ugh. See, it's a tough one. Could you do thinner volumes as middle ground? I could, but I don't want to. Like, I want, for the My Sexy Witch Academias, I want the minimum to be 120 pages. I have this, just to know how like big of a stink I am. I don't know if is it upstairs? Did I bring it down with me? I have this. Oh, I have it right here. So this, there we go. It's taped. All right, so this is a volume of The Growth of Megafist, and it is exactly 208 pages. So I marked this because I love the graphic novels. So like right here, this is exactly 60 pages. So if I do a 60-page graphic novel, this is how thick it'll be. And if I do 120 pages, then this is how thick it'll be. And if I do it, so like I already know. So like Bold Assassin will be 200 pages. Super Plumber Sisters will be 160 pages. So like I already know what they will quote unquote look like, because I'm a stickler for that kind of stuff. I'd say make number 5 and up as volumes. Make sure you tell us during the volumes 1 and 4 launch, and that way no one should be caught off guard. The volumes would cost more, but we'll get more story. You could also sell the floppies as digital comics, only for those who want to support the books but won't necessarily want the volumes. Interesting. That is interesting. That's not a bad. That's not a bad plan. That's not a bad plan. I'll have to figure this out. Or maybe. Yeah. This is some good talk. This is hard, guys. This is the business side of stuff that is hard. Because like every time I do these campaigns, like it's a lot of work. It takes up a lot of time to get these volumes out, and these books out. And then what's hard is like I have all these, like I have just long boxes right here, um, of inventory, and it's like, how long do I want to keep these? And if I get to the trade, what do I do with all these spare floppies? Do I burn them? Do I sell them? Why would I sell it? Why would someone buy it from me if they have the trade? Do I just go and donate them to my local comic book shop and say, hey, get these out, do whatever you want? I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'll have to see that's another thing. I'll have to see the trajectory. You know, I'm curious what chapter 3 of My Sexy Witch Academia will look like. Because, you know, we did 15, we did 20. I'm guessing we'll do like 13 on the next one. And like what's nice is like let's say I was to do what's nice is if you do them out in floppies, I can then, okay, sweet, take this little chunk, pay it out to my artist, pay the rest for fulfilling, and then I can keep more of a chunk. Whereas, like, I don't know, it's tough. For all I know, I know I should probably do the trade thing, but I'm also, I mean, with how Crooked Painter says, floppies are Kickstarter, trades are for Amazon, and I know that. Donate them to children's hospitals or something. That'd be funny. That'd be fun. Hey, this is My Sexy Witch Academia. I think, though, going forward, all my other books going forward, I think, like, My Sexy Witch Academia, Bullet Assassin, and Super Plumber Sisters, those are the last books that I do in floppy format, and I think after that, everything else will be in graphic novel format. Where's Donald DeLay's book? Jigger Bomb. It's right here. I don't go to conventions though, Sam. I don't have time for them. Let's see how many. I thought this was a good size. Like, let's count. All right, 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72. All right, so this is a 72-page book right here. I thought this was solid, but also, like, I feel like it's a solid size at this point, and I like my graphic novels to be this size, like, personally. And by the way, blame Sam Quinton for this, because he was the one that his book Furious 47 is this size, so blame him for the reason why we do these size books. But yeah, I like this. I don't know if this is too thin of a. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid. Yeah, man, we like Jagger Bomb a lot. Jagger Bomb's a fantastic book. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna head out. Let's see. Pair. I need to watch that Penguin show, guys. I hear it's freaking good. Oh, dude, there's a new episode of Lioness. Dude, this is like right now, the show I've been really digging is Lioness. This show is freaking awesome. I've been digging Lioness a lot. Any Taylor Sheridan show, I think it's fantastic. So, like, I gotta get back into Yellowstone. There's a new season. I gotta watch Lioness. Is that like my list? No. The Mayor of Kingstown. This is just a phenomenal show. The Mayor of Kingstown, phenomenal show. I love it. If you ever want to know, like, I wonder what Tyler's job is. My job is, like, literally my job is I am Jeremy Renner's character in The Mayor of Kingstown. This is literally my job. Just I don't work with criminals and the police, but I do my job is his job. Lioness. I'll pitch you guys Lioness. Okay, so there is the Lioness is they're a covert CIA group called Lioness, and what it is it's handpicked female agents who go to infiltrate on covert missions and assimilate with the enemy, in order to then like gain the enemy's trust, infiltrate their base, and then either to assassinate or whatever like the mission is. And Zoe Saldana, her character, she is the one in charge of the Lioness program. She's also like one of like the head-ranking members of the military and CIA. She's a badass like fighter and stuff, but she's in charge. She's the handler of the Lioness, and so these have to be like super badass females. They gotta kill, but they also gotta go on these missions. There's like a ton of emotions involved, and Zoe, like her character, she understands like, okay, like she has a lot of love and care for these characters, but also she's like, you're an asset to me. And like, if I need to like blow up this compound and you're in it in order to like protect you and like the mission, like I'm going to sacrifice your life. Tons of action. I love it. Massive. When are you getting a chance to catch up on your shows, Tyler? Do you and the wifey watch stuff in bed right before going to sleep? Man, I have so much stuff I want to watch them on. So I watch most of my shows on planes actually, because I travel all the time. So I am constantly on planes. Like I was gone for a week. I'm probably going to be leaving again soon. Like literally, like my job, I could get a text and it could say, need you in the city in 2 days. And I'm on a plane. Like I've literally been called and said, hey, we need you to be here in LA. This is happening in 12 hours. And I call up one of my employees. I go, hey, wake up. I'm picking you up in 3 hours. We have a flight to LA and stuff. So like the Black Widow premise, but better. Like more military in US. I really like it. I really like it. It's not for everyone, but I like it. Maybe we can find maybe I can get demonetized and I can find a clip from the show. That's a good one. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can put this on.
Why, out of all the jobs in the world, you pick this one? Why this job?
There's no such thing as a moral war. There's survival, and there's surrender.
How did we get to where we are today?
Hey!
No. Nobody's innocent. Nobody.
I am supposed to look at people I love in the eye, take their freedom, maybe even their lives.
Do you love your country?
You okay?
I'm fine. Things are falling apart everywhere.
Do you love your country?
How messy is this gonna be?
It's not gonna be clean.
Go!
You can't trust any of them.
Exposure's beyond containment.
I got him. I'm gonna ask you again if you're okay.
I'm running out of lives.
Reload!
What happens when you're outnumbered 100 to 1?
Do you love your country?
I am serving my country right now.
Your country needs more.
Lioness, new season streaming.
That's the show. It's I enjoy it a lot. And then here, let's just see if I can find. Someone asked the other day, like, one of my employees was like, Tyler, what do you do? Because I'm always gone. They're like, what do you do? And I was like, let me show you the trailer of this show, and then you can go, this is what I do. Here we go. In a non-violent way.
My job, my primary function, is to create a balance.
This is my job, right here.
And avoid a war.
You hear that? That line is my job.
Is to create a balance. And avoid a war. They came after us. You needed bullseye. So let's take the fight to them. You know anything?
It's always been a war zone, Mike. This is next level.
You all right, little bro?
Tell you, Mike, I'm terrified.
You should be.
There's some new players in town, and they brought the plague.
Why are you back?
Because I missed you.
We know what this guy's capable of. He's back for a reason.
When I act, I do so with purpose.
You got my attention. You don't want that.
Are you warning me?
I don't think you want to find out. So what am I doing here?
Hit Bunny Washington.
I'm a formidable monster, Mike.
I'm the one that will make your life possible in this town.
Because you are the mayor.
Welcome to Kingston.
That's my job. All right, that's my job. My job is to create a balance between two parties, and I do that by managing groups of teams. I've got team right here. I've got teams, clients, and the people who are in charge of everything. And basically, like, my goal is to keep everyone happy. So, like, I take on literally the brunt of everything. So, like, when shit goes down, my phone goes off, and then I'm the one who's trying to literally, like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, so that this person doesn't fucking find out, like, what we did, so that this person doesn't know there's a problem. So let's alleviate this problem right now. Otherwise, this is going to happen. And if this happens, there's going to be a problem over here. So let's stop it right now. And so, or I hear like, hey, did you hear about this? I'm like, fuck. Okay. No, I didn't hear about this. Like, what's going on? Tell me what you, and then I'm literally just like moving around constantly trying to see, okay, what did you hear? What did you hear? What did you do? Okay, let me figure out how this works to benefit all three parties. And then, yeah, like Caden's sketch, I shove people off roofs. I shove people off roofs. No, but I do yell at people sometimes. I'll get intense. They'll be like, Tyler, do you like, this was a couple weeks ago. My that guy I work with, we're partners. He's like, he does work. He like works with like the day-to-day team, and I'm the one kind of like running around everywhere, traveling and like meeting with clients. I'm kind of like the face, and we're on the phone call with someone, and the person wants to work with us, but like I'm demanding certain things, and they're just like, the person's like, I don't think, Tyler, that they're like, I don't know why, Tyler, I'm negotiating. I think I deserve a certain price. And he's like, and he wants to do a different price. And he's like, I don't know why we're arguing over a difference of $4,000. And I'm like, you're absolutely fucking right. I don't know why you're arguing for $4,000. I'm going to make you more. So are we done with this conversation? Are we going to sign some papers? Or are you going to keep whining about $4,000 extra dollars you have to pay me because I'm going to make you $100,000? You pick. And they signed the paper. We get in the car, and my friend's like, whoa. Dude, I was about to cave. I was about to let him have that 4,000. I was like, oh, me too. I was in Florida last week, and this guy is like, we're working on something, and the guy's like, I'm with another partner, and he's like, we're trying to do this deal for $25,000. Where it's a $25,000 deal. And with this guy, and this guy's like trying to like show up. He's like, I'm rich. I've got all these properties, and my partner's like, sweet, 25,000 then. And he goes, the guy's like 20, and he's like, I'll do 24, and that's where I'm gonna stop. That's where my partner's like, I'm gonna stop at 24. And anything else is disrespectful to me. And I'm like looking, I'm like, holy shit, this is where we're going. This is the route we're going. This is getting intense. The guy's like, you disrespect me by not doing 20. And the guy's like, if I give you 20. This thing is worth 5,000 right here. This thing's worth 20. So basically I'm giving you this for free. And the guy's like, perfect. You're now understanding my language. And the guy's like, no. My partner's like, no, 24, take it or leave it. And the guy's like, I want more than this. And I was like, I'll do this, but it's still a firm 24. And the guy pulls out his card. He goes, you see how nice this card is? And I'm like, dude, this card's worthless unless you give it to me. And we sign for 24,000, and we got the 24,000, and then he leaves, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dude, I was gonna cave and give him the 20. It's like this, like it's such a different world because I'm used to this. I'm used to like the business, like the e-commerce world. Hey, my book's 20, you buy it for 20. My book's 10, you buy it for 10. And this, I'm like, listen, this, it's like, okay, I've got some wiggle room, but like, what kind of deal? Like, what are we doing? Like right now I'm working on this really big deal. It's taken me 3 months. And hopefully on the 18th, we'll enter literally phase 2 of this deal. It could be like a $500,000 deal if I'm able to pull this off. And, annually. And, but I had to get so many. I had to go in and because I represent several companies, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of people, they don't know that. They know that I represent a lot of different companies. They're all under the same umbrella, but they do different things. And so I'm like talking to the person. I'm like, listen, I'll help you with. I'll help you with marketing, and I'll have this team over here to do it. We'll do it with this price. But you told me that you guys don't have any money for marketing. So what about this? If we do your marketing for this extremely discounted price and you don't even have money for advertising, I'll get this other company. They don't know I'm affiliated with it. I was like, I'll get this other company to front your advertising money, but you have to then buy exclusively everything for your company for this company. And they're like, oh, okay, well, let's talk. It took me like 3 months to get into a room just to fucking say that. And so on the 18th, we'll bring everyone together, see if we can do this. A $500,000 deal. It's like, that's like, but like, that's my job. Like that Mayor Kingstown, like that's me. It's just negotiating all day to people. I'm just negotiating, just trying to make people happy. And it's not even sales most of the time. Sometimes it's sales. Other times it's like, okay, like, what do I got to do to make you happy? Like, what do I got to do? Like, whose back do I have to break to make you happy right now? But seriously, go watch those shows. Those are very good shows. All right, guys, the night is winding down. I need to go shower, actually. Let's find some music. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the show is finding the outro music. Do these people know you make Sexy Witch Academia? No. Literally, like only my coworkers know that I make comics, and it's only because one of them needed Canva, and I have a Canva account, and it's where I make all my Kickstarter assets. And one of my employees, they go on my Canva account, and they go, "Holy shit, what's up with all this nude pictures?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, like get off of that." And he goes, "Dude, they're right there." Yeah, it's crazy. Like, these people don't really know that I make comics or like have YouTube. A lot of them don't care because they're just like, they make so much. These people make so much money in like the various industries I'm working in. They'd be like, "Oh, like the person I work under, who's like a bajillionaire, he knows it, and I don't think he's like, oh, this guy draws cartoons. Like, I don't think he knows that like it brings in money." Not enough money for him to like care. I mean, he makes like $2 million a month. They make $3 million a month. My $10,000 every couple months on a Kickstarter, when really I get a pocket like maybe $2,000. It's none of that. Sell ad space in your books as a side hustle. Oh my stars! All right, let's find a. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's find some music. Let's see. No. All right. Peace out, guys. That's corporate.
Okay. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a trendsetter. Okay. Let go. This counting on my wins, so I can't play it safe. Try to go against us, get you out the way. Go hard, it's the only way to play. Let me say, I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Who can do it better? I'm a go-getter. I'm a trendsetter. Hey, look, they keep calling me, could you ride this beat? Look proudly. Okay, it ain't no problem. See, I can mold this thing like pottery. Better, I'ma bet on myself. And before the top, and I don't need your help. We set the tempo, we run this thing as simple. Let's go. Boy, I'm locked in. Know your place, I'm top 10. And all my haters watching, so you know I keep on clocking. Let's go time. My whole style of go mine. Take my place, I hold mine. Run up, then it's go time. It's show time. Whoa. Yeah, they know I'm the one that set the trends, dog. Tell them tenfold, I'm gonna change the tempo. Okay, tell them I can't play it safe. Got more wins on the way. Gotta show them how to do it. Man, my team making plays. Okay, your team better play off. Sleeping on me, wake up. Too easy just to lay off. Okay, tell me who you know can do it better. I know, they know, we know I'm a trendsetter. Hey, okay, I know I'm here to stay. This counting on